I'm Elle. I'm a pastry chef and the manager here at Gateaux Bakery, and today I'm going to show you a few techniques with fondant bows. So I'm going to start with, have a pretty pastel fondant, and we're going to roll a Tiffany bow, which is very loopy, really pretty, really makes the top of the cake pop. I got my sheeter here. I'm going to roll it nice and thin, and then I'll show you how we do the loops. Just want to lay down a little bit of powdered sugar so you're not going to have your fondant stick to anything. And a nice roll cutter. Just going to trim your edges so they're even with each other. And then start cutting strips. And the thickness of the strips is entirely up to you. If you want a thinner bow, roll thinner strips. If you want a thicker bowl, roll them thicker. So do them about 1 inch in thickness. Maybe more like 1.5 inches. And for a Tiffany bow, you want at least about 12 loops. This is really simple, just a few pieces of parchment paper rolled up into a log, and then we put some tape to hold them together. And then this is what we're going to roll our loops around. So you transfer them over onto the sheet. You want the underneath of the fondant to be showing on top. That way when you roll them around, you're going to have the top back on top. Okay, we have our loop. A little bit of foil. This is going to raise the parchment paper up for you. That way you can roll them over. You just twist them around. Roll it this way. Just loop them right over there. Just pinch at the end so they stick to each other. If you've got them all set up, I like to just give them a little pull back, make sure that they're nice and rounded on the other end. And then these need to set overnight. Once they've dried for a day, then you can put the bow together. Okay, so here we have loops that have been setting out for a day. So you can see they pull off the parchment paper nice and easy. Just get rid of that, save it for your next Tiffany bow. And now you just want to clean up these edges a little bit. So basically I'm just going to take my paring knife and cut these into points. And the points at the ends are going to allow the bow to set nicely into each other. When you have all these squares, they hit over each other, and it just makes the bow lay not very nice. So now we have all the edges cleaned up. I've got a cake here. This one's topsy-turvy, but the Tiffany bow works on anything from square, straight, round, doesn't matter. So I've got a little bit of buttercream. You just want to put a little down in the middle. You don't need a lot to start. And then you're going to start putting your Tiffany bow together. So now you can see how all the nice points, all the loops are going to fit right into each other. And then I think I'll start with 5 at the base, so we're not overdoing it. And then just a little more buttercream here. And then layer it back on top. So again, these loops are just going to sit in between the last loops that you just put down, making it nice and full. And then you can see the buttercream kind of goes away and you don't notice it. And then one more right in the middle, and Tiffany bow ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to work on a square bow, which is actually much simpler than a Tiffany bow. I'm going to take 2 colors and kind of marble them together. It gives the bow a little more dimension. So I've just got a pink and a white. Just work it together. You can marble it as much or as little as you want. And just kind of keep smearing it around, getting it to a point that you like it at. I'm not going to marble it too much. So then you have that to start, and then you'll see when it gets rolled out, it's got a nice marbling effect to it. Okay, got that here. And then sometimes your underside comes out nicer, but I think I like this side better. So for this one, you're going to cut a nice fat rectangle, and depending on the size of the cake, you'll want it, bigger or smaller. All right, so we have a nice rectangle to start. Again, we want to flip it because this will become our top side. So we're going to flip it over. Bag of buttercream. Just give it a nice little shake on 2 sides, leaving enough space to fold over and enough space in the middle for them to meet. Fold it right over. Pinching at the ends. Over again. Pinching at the ends. and then flip. Kind of spread it out, shape it the way that you like it, and then we're just gonna roll off these ends so they're nice and clean. This is also gonna hold all the buttercream in there so you don't have anything coming through. And then with your excess fondant, doesn't look like much of a bow yet, you're gonna kind of pinch and pull, and you know, the fondant's workable, so you just keep manipulating it. Pinch it there, and now you need a center. We'll do more of a whitish one. Wrap that right around. And now these can lay down on a cake, or you can also re-manipulate to make it kind of stand up. In which case, just move it around. I like that. And then if you pop it in the fridge for a little bit, it's gonna have that buttercream set up, and then the bow is really gonna hold its shape nicely. And then to finish it off, you just need some tails. They have that, so if it's on your cake, you know, put your tails down, give them a little body. You set your bow right on top of there. Good to go.